3 seconds into the video and I'm already boggled in my own mind. How can I ever expect anybody to ever know any more than me? What do I really know? What can I really say other than me? I tell you numbers, I read you numbers, I give you basic numbers, but we can no longer read heads or tails of the same monkey who has his arms by his feet. I'm going to go over now with, there's a Pixar movie called, I think it's In and Out or In or Out, and it's a movie about where there's a person in life, a person like you, and her brain, okay, is from another galaxy, and they're working to help her with all her sad. She's joy, and joy always goes around with sad. And then there's anger and a few other things. You have to look at it, In or Out. It's by Pixar, and it was a really good movie, and had to do with the movie, the video I did on indicative, indica, ICA, PHOEBUS, SATIVA, and DEIMOS. I brought down DEIMOS to show you that in the last two it shows DC, 34, and 13, altered current, 28 inside the moon, of the cycle of the moon, of where the runner of the sun, 0405, the IT system, is inside the roll of the dice. Now these are all just coined expressions of truth, okay? DEIMOS has a number count of 65 and a Pythagorean count of 37. When you minus it, this is 28, the cycle of the moon. When you add it, it's 102. 102 is the blackjack count, okay, where the ace comes at the end of the count, okay, of a regular count of cards. When you add up numbers 1 to 13, it's 91, and the last card would be the ace. Instead of being ace 14 as the 14th card, 105, the hand of God, it now becomes ace 11, 102. But in this game, 10, Jack, Queen, King, where Jack, Queen, King are reverted, instead of Jack being a total of 10 as the 11th card, the 10th letter, it becomes the 10 value. It becomes its true value in blackjack. 10 is the 10th letter, and it becomes the true value. But in the game, it is the Jack. In poker or in regular cards, this is noted to be the 11th card. But in blackjack, it's noted to be a value of 10, and it gets its letter value. Queen and King. The Queen is a combination of 17. 17, let's look how 17 is formatted. 1 plus 9 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1, but where 0 equals 6, 1 plus 6 now equals 7. 1 and 7 are converted from 19, as well as the conversion from 2 and 8. 1 and 9, 2 and 8, 3 and 7, 4 and 6 will all create 10s. 1 plus 0, 0 equals 6, creates 7. 1 and 7 creates the Queen. So she's completing all the 10 values. The Q completes all the 10 values, and it's the only value you get on the cube where you run at the half-life. 6 is the opposite of 1, and it's the only true value because 1 is at the heart of all 6, but it is only valued at 1/4 because this is the passage of the half-life. See 4 corners? You shove the 1 in between, making 1 1/4, making everything like this, 1 1/4 times the 1 equals to the 5 value of this dice. But this dice can never be the 5 value. This dice has to say if it was the 5 value, every dot that you see here is 1 1/4. So that means if there's 9 area dots at 1 1/4, you have to have 1 1/4 times 9, which is pretty simple. 1.25 times 9 equals to 11.25, which is $1.25 over the value of 10. The regular value, average of 9 areas, the average is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 added equals 45. Divided by 5 equals to 9. 45 divided by the 9 areas is equal to the 5. 5, 9, 9, 5. FIVE equals 42. NINE equals 42. So you get a 1 1/4 value because these 4 corners make up the totality. These corners here, this here, can get chopped when they connect and they leave out these values, making it 1 28.25 times 9 divided by 4 equals to 28.125, cycle of the moon. 5 times 5 times 5, 125. 7 times 4 is your 28. Now this is a very hard understanding for this, and it doesn't show any real value, so just let's blank that out that I even brought it up, because that's another stage of counting. Inside of Phobus, we have the DNA of the 9 lives of the cat. 42, 24, 5, 9, and the cat equal to this 24 number. The doorway, what is the doorway? Well, we have an S. So instead of counting S as 19, okay, we count as 1 plus 9 equals 10, 1 plus 0 equals 1. The 0 will now equal 6, 6 and 1 is 7. There's your 17 for the queen, or 1771, because the door opens to both ways. Let's look at it that way, right? It could be as a mirror image. Would you like to see a mirror image? Okay, we're going to show you a mirror image. How would you like to do this? Right? And now we have the same thing on each side. I just duplicate it. So either we live on one side, right? Or I fold up a blank side. You see, I could have come up with a blank side. Let me see if I have any more paper here. I could have come up with a blank side, right? I could have taken this paper, right, in which all I could have did was, you see, I have a blank side and I have a cutout for the up and the down. But if I have a blank side, I'll just fold it over, right? And I'll now cut out the blank side and I'll duplicate over the same cuttings, right? And I'll now have the same cuttings on both sides, or I'll have twin skies, right? So that's the basic of that. And then I have, here's my eye and my duplicate. So it's basically all cutouts. It's all for fun. It's all made up out of my own mind. But guess what? If it was done in order to make it right, that's the way you do it. Simplicity. A 5-year-old child has been doing this since the day of time. So we're going to go back to this area over here where we spoke about 17, how we brought 17 back into this. Okay. Indica, if we take out the letters from 27, 2 and 7, 2 times 7, 2 plus 7, is the letter N, is the letter I. The letter N and the letter I, the total is 23. The letter W, win. The 2 is a B. The 7 is a G. 2 and 7 is 9. It's an I. 27 total equals red, win, big red, game, dice. Game, dice, cube, win, DEIMOS in the sky. Indica is 40, DEIMOS 72, a total of 112 or 118. 1 to 18 added equals 171. If you look on the telephone, right, they have the PQRS on the number 7. But if you look on the bank teller machine, the ATMs, the Q has been removed. It used to be a total, right, of 71, if I remember correctly. Is it 71? Yes, it's 71. If you add up PQRS, it should be 71, but they took away the Q, and it's now, excuse me, it was 70. But they took away the Q, and now it's 53, Electric Company. On the 9, they took away the ZXW, is it VWXY, WXYZ? They took away the Z. It used to be 98. Take away the 26. It's now 72 for time, which is run on the 9 key. Now SATIVA is inside your birth. This is your DNA, Y32, 7, 15, and 6. 7, 8, 6, 6, 7, 8, 21, runner of the cube inside PH and O. Because the H is 8, but the H is created from two numbers, right? The 8, 1 and 7 equals 8, 2 and 6 equals 8, 17 and 26 removed on the telephone key from the 7 and the 9 and put on the number 1 key for spirit. These are your basic middle 8s, happy middle, 17 and 26, 2 and 6, 26 and 8 is 8, 1 and 7 is 8. The same way as 12 is 3, 21 is 3. 13 is 4, 22 is 4. 14 is 5, 23 is 5. 15 is 6, 24 is 6. 16 is 7, 25 is 7. Pi. 17 and 26, QZ. 18 is R, 27 is sometimes Y, runner of the fox. DC company, DNA, runner of the sun, the IT system. The delinquent moon. 1 9 is 10, 2 8 is 10. Inside the queen, cycle of the moon. 47, cycle of the moon. 7 times 4, 7 plus 4. 39, which equals to the sky. And 11, king of the sky, because that is the K card. Okay, or it is also the Jack card when you're playing in cards in the deck. Here you have F and X. The 15th one is the letter O. 15 is O. 6 is F. This is X. You have now the fox. Inside of this one, 7 times 2, 7 plus 2 equals to your 23, 37. Back to the queen again. 37, 19 equals to 37. 19 and 18 is that 37. There is no other 37 in here. 9 or 8 is the high sky inside the spirit of the numbers. 28 and 12 is the lowest you can get, 40. The highest you can get is 55. The single count for the DEIMOS number, we've done this yesterday, is 65. The low count for Pythagorean is 37, but when we single out the S, remember, take away, add 10 to this. I'm not sure if I get the right number, but DEIMOS is 18, plus 4 is 22, plus 6 is 28, plus 1 is 29. Not sure if I got this one right. 32. This one was 29. It was 2 more than 37. Let me add this again to see that it is correct. 7 and 8 is 15, and 6 is 21, and 5 is 26, and 2 is 28, and 3 is 31, and 1 is 32. 32 from 41. So there's got to be a mistake here. This maybe is 38. DEIMOS, 4 and 5 is 9, and 9 is 18, and 4 is 22, and 6 is 28, and 1 is 29. How is this one 29? 29 is 28, okay? 28 and 1 is 29, and 9 is 38. So that's 38. I knew there had to be a mistake because it's only supposed to be. So this comes up to the, this will now be electric company, runner of the church system. 3 by 8 is 24. 3 plus 8 is 11. So if we go back to where 24 shows up, we now have the fox, which is inside the sun. Because 9 times 6 is 54. 9 times 5 is 45. 6 and 5 is the letter F, the reversal of the sun. Passage of the sun, coming through one end, going out the other. Remember, when you think, you send out a thought. When you receive the thought. Okay, so you get these two. I know it's really confusing because I'm doing this as I go and there's so many things to add up. Another thing is inside of number 27, you end up Bugatti, or how about Baghdad? Bag in French means the ring in Baghdad. The reason we have to be in the area that we are where Baghdad is because part of the ring, or the setup of the ring to win the wing inside Big Red, the Big Red Sun, or the wings of the Big Red Sun. But because don't forget that B and G together is W. So instead of ring and win, instead of bag, okay, it becomes ring. To win the ring or to win a wing inside of Baghdad. 414, the DNA and the IT system. 4 times 1, 4 plus 1 equals 4, 5, and 5, 4, 4, 5, 5, 4. 4 plus 3 and 5 and 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, which is the BC communication. Okay, BC is CB codes. And we're going to go back into this, okay, and read this off that when you add up in blackjack, okay, the totals in blackjack are ace to 9, okay, let's go ace to 10 equals 55. Then jack, 65. Queen, 75. King, 85. Ace, 11, 96. So you have 2 red, 2 black, 96, 96, 192, 384. 8 times 6 times 8, 384, the Hebrew New Year's. 84 is creation inside of Pluto. 6 by 8 is 48, the half-life. 84 is Pluto, reflects the same number. This is X and X, the split of the two systems, the two worlds, right over here. Inside of cards, 1 to 13 is 91. If you put the ace at the end in poker, it's 14. The hand of God, 105. If you play Casino War, You play from 2 to 14, 104. 10-4, Jack Daniels, JD, communication code 164, Zion, Israel. Zion, Israel. Now, when you reverse this again, if you want to take a look what happens over here, 22, 2 and 2 is, and 1 and 3. Here's 1 and 3 on the outside. Here's 2 and 2 on the inside. It becomes 2 and 2 becomes 4. So 2 and 2 Venus turns into Mars. It becomes 143 AC/DC, alternate deferred current. 19 and 9 inside casino, alternate current 04, which is a combination of 22, or the driver. Why is it known as the driver? DMV, and don't forget, computers have drivers. It's a 04 because this is automatically in the 10 positions. The 10 position is owned by the Queen, as we saw in this area over here, where 1 and 9 comes together, 2 and 8 comes together, 3 and 7 comes together. 14 and 23, win big red, win the big red sun. 23 and 5 is 28, the cycle of the sun. 26 is the dog, 24 is the cat. 24, and why I'm doing it this way is because this is the high count and the low count. This is 15, this is 24. This is 17, this is 26. 17 and 26 is now moved. 17 and 26, excuse me, 17 and 26 is over here. This is the AC/DC, 1 times 3, 1 plus 3 is the deferred current over here, 26 and 17. Number 43, also found over here, 26 and 17, altered current inside ABCD, which is the same number, AC/DC over here, DMV, the driver. Remember, it takes these two to recreate this, right? 2 and 2 to create 4. Because if everything is ABC, this is the only way. It's 2 times ABC to create the 8, 313 to create the 7, 414 to create the 9. There's no more than 4 because that's all we take to the 4 corners. This is the smallest way around when you're creating a cube. Otherwise, you're creating it. Is it on the cross? Is it a 3-way, which is halfway up, halfway down with no reflection? Or is it with full reflection? How does the pyramid stand? Because the top of the pyramid is here. The bottom energy of the pyramid is in the ground that you don't see. The reflective energy that comes down to a single point, and you have to ask the scientist, because I'm not a scientist. I just put relationships together. Are you getting married? I'll marry you to any number and any color at any time for any given reason. So we have to understand that blackjack, okay, we add up. When we add up in blackjack, okay, when we just use numbers in blackjack, okay, we're going to add up from 1 all the way to 13, which is equal to 91, and then we get the 11 at the end. Where is it again? 1 to 13 equals 91, which is an average of 7 times 13 equals to the 91. That means the cards have an average of 7. That means if you pull out the 8 card, okay, and all the dots on the 8 card have an average of 7, 7 times 8 equals 56. But when you come out to the cube, okay, the cube, and there's 9 of them, right? There's 9 to a face, right? Add up 1 to 9 equals to 45. 45 divided by 9 equals to 5. But the card value, because of all the cards that there are, all the way up to this one over here, is 91. Divide that by 7 equals to 13. Divided by 13 equals to 7. So it's either 4 or 7. Jesus Christ. 7 and 4. 313 to get the 4. 313 to get the 7. 3 and 1 is 4. One team wins on one side. Now, when you add up 1 to 13 is 91. When you put the ace at the end, because you have a two-way value, if you're playing poker, you get to use the ace on either side. It totals 105. If we put 6 here, it becomes 165, the red sun, inside of the word DEIMOS, or 105 times 4 suits is 420. Now we have weed. Anybody looking for 420? The value of 420 is 80. Cat and vin. Quatre vin is expressed in French. Casino war adding up 2 to 14 is 104. That's communication. Jack Daniels. 105 is the hand of God. Jack is the hand of God. 104, 105, 106. And we expressed it. These are the only ones, right? When you add up 1 to 9 and we start over here, that's why the high-low numbers are right here. And when you play poker, high-low, you go from 1 to 8. In fact, 1 is not 8 because 1 is inside 9. 9 is the second level where 1 is prevalent because the spirit comes in. You have the 8 creation of the matter and the 1 spirit that brings it all alive. So you're actually working 2 to 8. 2 and 8 are the same thing. It's 4 times 2. Everything in between brings the spirit of 9. 2 to 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are the best low hands you can have. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the best low hand inside the queen. This is put to the number 1 key. This is your happy middle. 47 and 33 is 80. 33 and 35 is 68. 92 is the birth of the mind. 25 is the low side. 43, 25 or 43, Jack of DC. Here you have 37, 55. So there's many ways to look at the relationship. What I just did there is not much. I just bamboozled your mind by saying those last 2 numbers, because you can say, what does it mean? I'm just bringing the opportunity to have a thought a little bit further. So now you might ask me, why don't I go to another level? Well, I just did. I went to the end of February, but this year is a leap year inside February. So do I go 29, 30, 31, 32, and what do? First of all, this is Baba. This is artificial intelligence. This is Baba. Why? Because when you're playing the piano, these may be your first 2 keys, but when these keys repeat, they repeat right here. A and A. A equals B. Why? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A is the next one in the piano. 1 and 8. A and A. A and G is the same scenario in gematria in 313. 7 and 1 are both first and last, creating your 8. 2 and 6 are both second. A, B, and G, F. These keys over here have no in-between black key in it. So there's all scenarios that I'm bringing out of what reality is. It's all the reality. It's happening right now in our life for everything that's going on. And another thing, I'm going to say this in my next video, that God has 1,000 names. And God stands for one thing. He stands for peace and love, honesty. That's it. There are no rules with God other than peace, love, and honesty. Treat thy neighbor with respect, and do with what you need for yourself in your own home, and respect everybody else around you. We only have one God. Everybody interprets the outside of their house. You have to interpret the inside of your house, because didn't God say the inside of your house? He didn't say the outside of our house. We can't tell anybody else what to do. And by putting down so many laws, we have to respect the respect of everything that surrounds us. That's the truth of God. Because dog, damn, is all this scenario of playing with words. Damn is a dame, it's a beaver, it's a woman, it's the opposite of the male is the female, dame is female, they say God is the male, so you have the opposite. Dame is a beaver goes under the water and over the water, and the child is born inside the water, and then he plays from outside the stream. Outside of the stream, Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. Thank you for this pleasant morning. You're welcome.